by commentating. I am not teaching you anything. I'm just going along the ride. You're trying to have fun. Rebs is still salty because I commentated a battle where he was on the losing team. Hey, I just go into them blind. Okay, like, yeah, somebody sent me replays. Let me go to some of these. I have no idea what's going on over here. Definitely no vested interests or any agendas going on over here. Still the best Total War game. Rome 2, best Total War or bestest Total War? Yeah, that's more like it. So we're gonna go in about chronological order. So the very first video, and I haven't watched through this. I haven't checked it out in ages. So this is pretty much fresh, gonna be fresh on my mind. But I'm already getting nostalgic just looking at just how much of a pixelated mess this was. And by the way, this was not a dedicated, I don't remember which video was my first dedicated YouTube video, maybe the tutorials, but this was a YouTube highlight that I just exported, sorry, a Twitch highlight that I just directly exported to YouTube. No editing, nothing whatsoever. I had absolutely no experience editing. Like, if you told me to edit the transition, I would not. I would be completely lost for words.
All right, next here.
Oh my god, and the audio quality is just assaulting my ears.
About making it feel right.
Oh, and this needs an armory.
and then I had the crappy Pretzel Rocks music that I didn't even filter out. I just put whatever random thing, whatever random song, and just let it play in the background. And of course, most of it wasn't, or still isn't YouTube safe. So
okay,
it just sounds so wildly inappropriate.
I'm 5 away from getting. I'm 5 away from getting my
audio quality. 7. This is 720p, I believe. 720p 60. It doesn't look that bad, to be fair. Though, to be fair, I'm not moving. I'm not moving the camera around. It's when the camera moves around that it turns into an artifact mess. And this is back when I used to get like heavily upgraded units. I would just turtle, and this is probably I don't know. I think I was playing on hard difficulty right now. I was still playing on hard difficulty, but even then I had a pretty significant eco stack.
Don't believe. I think it's impossible to cross over this terrain over here. That's going to be a significant advantage for us. Okay, no, I have to think hard about the terrain I'm going to use here. Oh my god, I don't know, cause this choice that I'm going to make is going to be important. It's going to decide the whole battle.
And what's even sillier is I remember specifically having on my stream deck, which I still have right now, I specifically had a toggle for next song, so I could have literally just changed the next song and found a decent one.
I don't know if I can place.
So I don't know if this was just laziness on my part or just straight up incompetence.
Troops over here. That's the problem.
I was
okay,
also.
I have an idea. We're gonna.
I was also using the extended camera mini mod. I was still using that now, but I stopped using it mainly because I don't know, multiplayer. It not being compatible.
Cavalry tactic. We're gonna try to lure away the general first. We have to get the general. We have to get their daimyo. Rush down my Bo Ashigaru. I want them
I'm curious. I really wonder if this battle could have been won eventually. Spoiler alert, I do eventually lose it. And also I was not even using any like hotkeys like WASD or anything. I was like just a complete mouse click spam player at that time.
They pull their general forward. And pull the katanas out.
Yeah, this is the Half-Man song. This is an actually decent song, but of course flagged. This video has like 5 or 6 copyright flags on it. It's funny.
Okay, we're kiting them.
Yeah, Heli, yo, Heli, we're going down memory lane over here. Come on, it's definitely worth the ride. Times you might just feel his bite.
That's the general units over there.
And that's Statman. Hey, look, Statman. He's a part of history over here. Statman. Saying salam. This is also, I'm saying this is 1 year on, but it's also, it tells April 7. You probably have noticed by now. I've just been extremely swamped with personal stuff, and so here we have it.
As long as we're pulling all these units away, we're doing good.
Are you asking me why I'm using Katana Cavalry? Well, this is this was back when I was pretty much just noob. I mean, if does playing on hard difficulty count as still being a noob? Anyway, I was always just camping and turtling and getting max upgrades. I would not conquer provinces. I would just turtle in one province the whole game, trying to get maximum armor, maximum armor, or armor plus melee attack, and then there's Katana Cavalry as well. I would with improved charge, I would just sit and farm upgrades and then finally just start expanding with like a Doom stack, which is horribly inefficient, by the way, and I don't play like that today anymore. In fact, I'm extremely against upgrades. They're just not worth it most of the time. It's much better to just make more Yashigaru. And Katana Samurai are already a really good unit just out of the box. Like you're splitting hairs when you're going for those upgrades. This is horribly inefficient. I could have like I could have almost certainly won. Like if you look at the minimap, look at the amount of units, the amount of boxes you have. You can look at the icons over here, and I don't know if you caught the earlier part of this stream, but they have like 7 or 8 experienced Yashigaru led by Shimatsuma, who's like rank 6.
Oh my god. Okay, charge out. Yashigaru. Oh my god. Yeah,
this would be so easy to win. You just send your Yashigaru down the hill in the Yari wall, and then have the Katana Samurai immediately follow in, and don't separate them. The Katana Samurai and Yashigaru never separate them on the battlefield. They're absolute beasts when they're working together. Let's just skip over to the part where.
Okay, get the bow run. Man, they're so exhausted.
I'm calling them Ronin at this part. Bo Ronin. Oh my god, the way I'm pronouncing things.
Run into them. Run to them.
Oh, and yeah, also, I didn't even know. I didn't know that you have to give the attack order. Like you have to click on the unit to actually get the charge bonus. I thought you just run into them. I would just like do pull-throughs the whole time, and yeah, this is such a horribly fought battle.
Cause a chain route. We need the chain route. And we have one.
If you're wondering about the music, that's because I had Pretzel Rocks on this time, and my taste in music was not very good. Oh, and my webcam is kind of off center. Hang on. I know how to fix that right now. Alt. Yeah, that's more like it. Haha, magic.
1 unit of Katana Samurai. Get their rears now.
Look at how slow these cavalry are at this point.
Bringing the well-rested general.
Yeah, this was definitely a winnable fight. Look at how close I came despite all my mistakes. I routed most of the enemy army despite how horribly I managed this fight. I could have definitely won that. I think.
What is this weird pathfinding?
And then in naval battles, I didn't even know you could use firebomb ships to plant mines before the battle even started. I just discovered that a few weeks ago. I just never paid attention like to the UI. It shows up here on the right side of the UI, and I don't ever pay attention. It's kind of like deployable defenses in battle. You have to remember it's a thing, and then you just forget that it exists, and then you're like, oh wait, I've been missing out on this entire element of the gameplay this whole time. And so a journey began. And so a journey began. Dark Wolf, and this is we send one of my early supporters. Mad support for you. I definitely look at how far we've come since then. I remember he was begging me to get back into streaming like ages ago for so many month after month. Look at where we are now. So I think that's enough for the first video. Yeah, this is April 25th. This is the first video where I actually started editing. Like, this was something I streamed to Twitch, but I actually downloaded the file and edited it. Did some very light editing, like just transitions, of course, really, really badly done. What we're gonna try to do here is we're gonna try to catch their general with the Yari Samurai, first of all. The Yari Samurai is most likely gonna be sacrificed. Samurai. Yeah. And look at, I was using a grayscale transition, like just the default transition. I didn't even know, like, I didn't know anything about how to like properly edit transitions or tune transitions or use different transitions or a control transition length. Okay, and they're gonna get targeted by archers as well. They're going quite well on the Yari Samurai front. And there's 1 unit of Yari Samurai defeated like 5 units of cavalry. And the general. Okay, the light cavalry, yeah, they're just getting murdered over here. And killed Shingen, by the way. But you'll also, if you pay attention to my webcam, you'll notice that I was wearing glasses back then. Just these are anti-blue light glasses because I was just looking. I was streaming. I remember I was streaming 8 hours per day, like in 4-hour sessions, just grinding it, and they're just getting streams out, just pumping them out. I was obsessed with it. I mean, I took the opportunity to learn things while I was doing that. It obviously wasn't very healthy at all or efficient, but I still learned a lot, and that's what counts. You'll also notice that the microphone just keeps on moving around to different positions. I was just could never find. I mean, even with the losses of men. Well, look at that. It's suggesting to me one of my more recent videos. Imagine watching this and then jumping to this video and just looking, just flash forward and look at how much night and day. Like the editing, the quality, like this is soil. Like this is just already so much better. I've offered much cover. You know what? I really think I could. It's insane. It is insane. But anyway, that was a flash forward. Let's go in chronological order. So which one's next? I think we're done with this one. Yeah, this is my first. This here, I believe, is my first dedicated YouTube video. Like this is not pulled from a Twitch stream. This is actually I sat down, scripted it, and did the battles, like these battles, like featuring the units being covered, and added music.
In this video, I'll be discussing.
But it's still my microphone quality. I was literally chewing the microphone. I still had no idea. Like I was still really bad at adjusting filters, so the gain was really high. So the microphone's constantly being cut out.
The different speed.
Yeah, just listen to me talk into this microphone right now, and then the other USB microphone I was using. It's a USB microphone, so it's already at a disadvantage. And then you throw into the fact my incompetence, 1000 plus 1000 incompetence, and not knowing how to tune my filters, and
your infantry units in Shogun 2, giving an overview into their strengths, weaknesses, and how to effectively use each one. Note that in these unit guides, I generally will not be covering DLC units, as these tend to be faction specific and relegated to the later parts of the campaign. Yari Ashigaru should ideally never engage a unit outside of this formation, as without it they will be slaughtered by better infantry units like Katana Samurai. Spear Wall will allow them to hold their ground against frontal assaults for quite a long time, even against elite units.
I like how I'm saying that while this unit of Yari cavalry, I don't know how they managed to just shatter the formation like that. Like it was already formed. Like I think the formation was already formed, and it's uphill, so it's really ironic I'm saying that. They will hold really well, and they just proceed to get slaughtered by Yari cavalry.
Even against elite units. The formation is especially effective when given up, considering the unit's tendency to waver and break when struck from such angles, so you should ensure the Ashigaru are well supported.
Also, yeah, this is something that's plaguing some of these earlier videos. Look at the offset between the mouse, like the mouse icon, and the actual command itself. I have no idea why that was happening, but I just started using Xtreme. I just started using a different. I don't remember which software I used to record this, whether it was Streamlabs or Filmora.
Offensively, Yari Ashigaru have a very poor charge bonus, so they should still attack units in the Yari wall formation, or bring your own missile troops to match the enemies.
That aged horribly because back then I still didn't know that archers got insane buffs on higher difficulties, so you can't win in what should be a fair fight.
Yari Samurai would seem to be a better unit at first glance.
I want to check something with what I said about the Yari hero, because there's an unfortunate flaw with the units. Maybe I don't know, like you should call it a flaw, but I don't know why this is.
Their melee stats are far superior to both Ashigaru.
So I don't think I covered it in this video, but Yari hero get spear square, but spear square, it is so easy to break the formation apart. Like they will literally be forced out of the formation, and the icon will be grayed out if any cavalry charge comes their way.
And Samurai.
It just makes spear square. Like you will never
and
ever
their morale
use it.
far outclasses even warrior monks.
It's kind of unfortunate.
They have access to the spear square ability, a formation that will allow them to hold against whatever is thrown at them.
Yeah, that's. Oh yeah. Here I even included like a text later on, just post-production. Yeah, spear square can be broken with enough course because the unit's so small. ... It's so sad. It's so sad. I think I got better video. I did this. This is like 1 month later. This should have decently better.
So you boot up Shogun 2 for the first time, and having read your history books, you know this is when guns arrived in Japan. You pick the Shimazu because everyone does, and you look at the tech tree and see gunpowder mastery is way down there. But okay, you say, I'm going to starve all my peasants.
Also, fun fact about this video,
and leave my soldiers to fight with nothing but pointy sticks, while your brightest minds are put to researching the ways of black powder. It's 1560. Half of your cities are near
I didn't actually play the game this long, by the way, to research all this tech. I just got a one-turn research mod and just spammed end turn until I finally got the tech. Just some behind-the-scenes stuff. And you can see that the earlier tutorials are just very fact-based, like really monotone for the most part. It's like you're in a classroom with me. I'm trying to teach you this crap, and now you can see how there's more humor being incorporated and more meta stuff being incorporated,
which briefly increases their range. Using this, they can engage with archers on more equal footing.
I like that how they didn't even have wait. I don't think these guys even have line of sight on these units. It's kind of funny. Just the stuff you spot when you rewatch things. They're like, yeah. You didn't watch through that later. You just rushed the video. This is the Legend of Kenshin. This is where the whole cinematic series started, with this humble beginning. Right away, you can tell my camera work was still. Ooh. And this was just a battle replay from all of my campaigns. And now most of my cinematics, I actually do go into custom battles and like script everything, like just do everything from scratch. The Ashina clan. And even though this is 1080p, it's so pixelated and so much artifacting because I was recording this at like a really low bitrate. I still hadn't figured that out yet. It's still, even though like it's really shoddily done, it's still weirdly engrossing to watch. I think that's the music. Like even when you, the beauty of having like engrossing, like having a good soundtrack or a decent soundtrack is that it makes up for a lot of the crap on screen. I don't know if you caught that earlier, but full cam, I have the just got my this 1440p screen over here, this is gonna be my my dedicated editing setup. So I'm gonna do the editing over here. I want to have a separation between my gaming, recording, and editing. It'll probably keep me more focused, and this also has better picture quality as well. Don't use I still game at 1080p because I want frame rate. I don't really care about picture quality for gaming that much. 1080p is fine for me. I'm gonna move this chat. I think I'm gonna move the chat over here, just make it more visible. I don't know if it's gonna cover too much of the video. The ninjas strike. Oh no, wait. I have to be really careful over here because I do not want to have copyright. Oh my god, I just realized I've been streaming and I'm looking at another video that has copyrighted music in it. I hope. Whoa. I don't like, does the stream just get taken down automatically? Okay, so there's the matchlock infantry guide, and then there is Shogun 2 Noobceptions, Yari Samurai.
How do you know someone is new to Shogun 2? They bring lots of Yari Samurai to battle, because Samurai should be better than Ashigaru, right? This is true in every other unit class. Katana Samurai are
and this is some more
so good that it's more valuable than Yari Samurai's advantage in morale, melee stats, armor, and mobility. On top of this, if morale is an issue, you can opt for Naginata Samurai.
This is one of my most viewed videos until now. It was the leader for a long time until TW Doc. Experiencing way too much cringe. Yes, I've had way over my daily dose of cringe. Right, just going through 5 of my older videos.
Samurai, with their superior melee stats to Yari Samurai and excellent armor. This video isn't going to prove that you should get rid of your Yari Ashigaru for the Samurai, but it will show you that they are not completely useless and can in certain scenarios radically alter the course of battle. Unlocking Yari Samurai's potential comes from understanding the value of their mobility. Being the fast...
I still think Rapid Advance should offer more of a mobility. Like the actual mobility boost itself is just way too small.
Infantry units on the field, when using Rapid Advance, they can only be caught by cavalry, against whom they have a large anti-cavalry bonus. Combined with their good morale, this means you can rely on them to operate independently of your main force, unlike Ashigaru who need to be well supported. The Yari Samurai can lay an ambush for flanking cavalry, or rush to secure a position while the rest of your units catch up. You can see this...
This is like such a historic video because I don't like a bunch of people in my Discord server like were introduced to my channel and like came onto Discord because of it. It was Mike, it was Wolf, I don't know who else it was who... Fair. I just came to realization that Warhammer 3 is the culmination of putting emphasis on killing rather than tactics. You mean it's literally just a meat grinder? Like there's no routing or anything? Hasn't that been Total War for the past 10 years since Rome 2 brought in the whole HP system? Does it even matter though? Because stamina for infantry is broken. I mean, it has an effect on morale, but no effect on combat effectiveness or speed.
Second tactic in action in this battle, where I'm playing as the Takeda and want to prevent the enemy army from climbing the hill, or against cavalry supported by...
Yeah, you can already see that my video quality is getting better. There's less pixelation going on.
Infantry, the Ashigaru's morale is a liability, whereas Yari Samurai can suffer considerable losses before routing. And if the Yari Samurai is on the verge of crumbling, you can use Rapid Advance as an escape option.
In Shogun 1 you can route warrior monks at full strength with... No, I mean... since Rome 2, you routing is no longer a thing. Like there's no... The whole dynamic of defeating a much better unit, a much higher quality unit through actual tactics is just gone. You either have to have a huge numbers advantage, or you have to just bring your own high quality units and just slam them. Like you take your toys, you take your fancy toys, you take your fancy plastic toys, and you just slam them together like you're a kid until one of them breaks. That's how it works.
Useful for baiting other infantry units. In the end though, you won't and shouldn't be completely replacing your Yari Ashigaru with their samurai counterparts. But
Still the best Total War game. Rome 2. Best Total War or bestest Total War?
It's been more than 10 years since this game's release, but it's aged remarkably well and is still one of the best offerings in real-time.
This is also
strategy
my Shogun 2 Pike and Shot video that Shogun 2 Pike and Shot. It might be one of the top results. Yeah, it's the I have the Pike and Shot, the top two results right now. Or I don't know if that's because it's my channel that's getting recommended to me first, if that's how the algorithm works. So this was taken from, yeah, this is a Twitch stream, and I had this dumb RGB light bar in the background.
I want to
And now my microphone just switched to a different position once again.
try something over here. Let's see if
And this is me quick saving. I'm not playing on Legendary yet. Follower goal from Twitch.
works.
Don't do this, guys. My advice to you is don't have these stupid bars over your screen or whatever your overlay or whatever. All you need to add other than the gameplay is your webcam. The only thing that you need to add to the screen is your webcam. You are making the content, the content. Okay, you are the content.
And so far nothing has gotten
It really says something. Imagine if Shogun 2 did not have the engine working against it. Imagine if Shogun 2 had an actually good engine, like good foundation to work from. How much better would it have been than it already is if it weren't for that constraining it? And you can go to Pike and Shot in Shogun 2. Yeah, this is September, so this is already much better.
Hello there, everyone. Another dishonorable lab video. I'm gonna make this into a bit of a series. Okay, just
Yeah, I'm already much better audio quality, much
we
better
come to
video
test things, we
quality.
come to do some natural science over here. So before we get into this though, I have just started. I'm trying to start my own sort of viewer battle series. So viewers, you guys, anyone who playing Shogun 2 can submit a battle, whether in Shogun 2 Vanilla or Fall of the Samurai. You can head on to my Discord if you're having trouble.
Yeah, so this is where it all started. Yeah, having deja vu now. This is, I remember this video is where I
the battle, or you just have a battle
ask people to send me saves.
that you've already done, but you want to see if someone can, like, if you want to give it to somebody else to see if they can do it better.
And a lot of people brought up in the comments here, like, what if you have archers? Well, if the enemy army has archers, well, if you're playing on Legendary, it's gonna be quite. It's not gonna be feasible to counter enemy archers with your own archers unless you do some excessive kiting. The way to counter that is to understand the targeting logic of the AI. They have a strong preference for targeting samurai units. They will target the highest quality units. So they have a habit of, they won't target the Yari walls, they will target the katana samurai or the matchlock samurai in the back. So what you could do is wait for them to come in range. They've engaged their targeting, they pick their targets, then run back with the targeted units, run back and just give a run order with the katana samurai and the matchlock samurai, force them to come within range, and then you have a much shorter distance to close. And that brings us to Total War Against All Odds. And after I made the call for saves, this was the first video provided. This was 2 days later. This was literally 2 days later. This is the first entry in the series.
Hello there, everyone, all you faithful members of the Dishonorable Clan. First part of this video series that I look forward to.
And I was uploading, this is when I started uploading in 1440p just to compensate for the compression that YouTube does.
Please send me your saves, guys. I'll try to help as best as I can. Send me any interesting scenarios, any scenario.
I remember specifically this battle was really
thing,
frustrating. It wasn't difficult to win. I like won every single attempt I did, but I kept doing it over because there was a lot of hitching.
Hello there. I actually managed to run.
There was a lot of
The
hitching.
differences in the Yari Ashigaru has over here.
You'll
So
notice
I
it. Like
placed all
you'll notice that there's constant stutters.
the Yari Ashigaru with improved melee attack in the
Every single time, I think the game is trying to load too many units into one quadrant of the map or one sector of the map that it stutters at every single It stutters at every single unit getting loaded in.
Offensive army. While I placed the Yari Ashigaru with experience, they have better morale. So better morale means better experience. That is Shingen gone. So better experience means better morale, meaning that they won't suffer if they take friendly fire. So I placed them on the eastern side of the fort because they're gonna take some friendly fire while the matchlocks are firing off. And now because Shingen is dead, we can easily route the rest of this army. I apparently clicked to open the encyclopedia and then I gave an order there while the game was paused, so that was a bit of cheating. My bad.
Well, and the second one, I think this is the second video in the series. I remember staying up like all night just trying to do this.
And shattered. And we have this one Yari Samurai over here. Gonna send the Samurai Retainers into their flank. They're gonna get attacked on 3 sides. 30 seconds, 20 seconds to go. 20 seconds.
Yeah, I had...
Ashigaru and then just the garrison. Yari Ashigaru and Samurai Retainers against a horde of Katana and Yari Samurai and Cavalry and imported Matchlock Ashigaru, interestingly. This is gonna be a tough one.
And the one thing I hate, this is one part, getting rid of the general, this screwed me over so many times because he would survive. The unit would break and he would rout and he would survive. I had to pile on all these different cavalry units just and actually zoom in.
Over here, they have too many cavalry units for my single Yari Ashigaru, so I need to make sure I catch any cavalry. I need to make sure that I catch any cavalry that attempts flanking, so I'm getting a charge down the slope. I made sure I'm fighting on the slope over here, so we charged Katana cavalry with light cavalry down the slope, and now we're gonna get a rear charge on them. And what screwed me over in the multiple attempts is that the captain in my light cavalry would end up dying and causing the morale debuff. So there's a bit of RNG that goes on over here. I had to repeat this so many times just due to the RNG of the melee that goes on over here. In some instances, I had the general, the daimyo himself, survive. He routed, but he survived. And the thing is, the morale isn't... The morale in single-player battles is kind of bugged. If the general survives but routes, it doesn't deal any morale penalty to the enemy units. So I had to...
It does actually deal a morale penalty, but it doesn't... It still prevents them... enemy units won't shatter, they will rout, they will break instead of shattering. So it's still a huge disadvantage. You want to make sure that the general dies.
Make sure that the general, the daimyo himself, was actually killed.
And I sent this unit of Katana cavalry around, Samurai Retainers around the whole map, kiting all these units.
And over here I have
I wanted to prevent them from attacking the fort.
Yeah. Pull the Yari Samurai into the ditch.
And there was so much, like, this was so intricate to this whole fight, like one of the most intricate battles I fought. I had to use this trench to prevent the guns from firing, lure the Yari Samurai into the fight, quickly route them and prevent the guns from firing.
With them.
God, this game. To the trench and over the top.
With Yari wall, out of sight of the guns. Gonna wait for the guns to come as close as possible to the trench before charging my cavalry out to meet them. I want to avoid taking shots as much as possible.
And then
they're wavering, cat.
And then I one unit of Yari Samurai got into the fort, but the army losses came in 5 seconds in. This is from Dark Wolf. He provided the save and he provided a few more in this series. And then this is one of my most hard fought victories. You're gonna... Oh no, don't target my unit. This fight, it was about a month before between me trying it out the first session. Like, there's 2 episodes dedicated to this fight. This is the second one. And they scared my horses off. No, don't do that. That ain't good. Yeah. And this is with my new microphone, the one the one I'm using right now. I've been using for a few months now. So you can already see how much better the audio quality is. Screw this. I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna... The warrior monks are out. And then also this is with my new camera. Instead of a webcam, I was using, instead of just a cheap ass webcam, I'm actually using a DSLR camera, so much better. Just the jumps in quality out in the rear. And that's not the only thing that's over here. Another novel tactic. I put my Bo Ashigaru into melee mode, and very first order that I gave them was to burn down the gatehouse. The reason I did that is because I'm anticipating that the AI is going to capture the flags on both of my gates, and that's going to lock me out of the fort. The only way I'll be able to get in with the outside force is to climb in. That's going to take way too much time, and it's also going to cost me men as I have a love-hate relationship with this video series, by the way, because it makes for some great videos, but it is so painful. Most of these battles are just so very painful. It's not because I can't think of a plan. I can envision a plan. I can envision a plan and make and like see how it can work. But it's usually just RNG with either the AI or in these siege defenses where units, you know, just don't respond to orders or some crap. Like it's really annoying when I sit down to do one of these, and it's really unpredictable. When I sit down to do one of these videos, I just have no idea how long it's gonna take, if I even will be able to beat it anyway. It's just really unpredictable, and it's I don't know what to expect, which is fun in a way, but at the same time I also want to get a video out, and it gets kind of annoying when I'm not sure. Whereas if somebody sends me a battle replay, I know that I'm gonna get to the end of the battle. I need to commentate it. It's way easier to make. So I'm preempting that. I'm going to burn down the gate. I burnt down the gate to ensure that my men have easy access to the forts when the time comes, because my samurai retainers and that lone unit of Yari Ashigaru, they're not gonna last forever. They're not gonna last forever. They're gonna buy us a lot of time, but they will eventually fall, and then I'm doomed. I could outplay the AI. And there's also, this was just after, we skipped a bit. This was just after, well, Warhammer 3 released, and that brings us to Total War. By commentating, I am not teaching you anything. I'm just going along the ride. You're trying to have fun. Rebs is still salty because I commentated a battle where he was on the losing team. I just go into them blind. Okay, like, yeah, if somebody sent me replays, let me go to some of these. I have no idea what's going on over here. Definitely no vested interests or any agendas going on over here. That's funny. Where is I want my channel. Total War Fall of a Franchise. Yeah, this is February. This is by far my most ambitious video, and I don't think I'll be, probably too ambitious for its own good. I don't think I'll be doing a video nearly as ambitious. I'm currently in the scripting phase of another critique type video where I analyze the campaigns, the actual campaign map gameplay in different Total Wars. Now they've just gotten worse, which is funny because they always talk about, oh no, Total War is more about the campaign now. Well, it's actually worse. Stay tuned for that one, guys. It's gonna be fun. I already have a lot of material for that one. Games. Shogun 2 started the player out. The year is 1999. The world is in crisis as humanity is under threat from the Y2K bug. But in the town of Horsham in the United Kingdom, I am so glad the voiceover, the actual audio track, like the narration for this video, I recorded it in January just after getting this microphone. I am so glad I waited until then to record this, because I cannot imagine. I needed this audio quality for this type of video. An obscure company called The Creative Assembly was heedlessly working on their most ambitious project yet. I'm thirsty, I need water. Developing a video game combining strategic decision making on a campaign map similar to the Civilization series, and real-time battles somewhat akin to the gameplay of Age of Empires and StarCraft. It was the launch of a gaming franchise that sought to ask questions others were too afraid to. Was Alexander the Great a good commander? Will gunpowder change the face of warfare? And if Napoleon was such a great general, then why is he dead? The game was Shogun. The way I did this intro, I was inspired by Internet Historian and like his deadpan humor. Total War.
To become Shogun will require...
This was so exhausting to make, and so many things just left on the cutting room floor. I also had to like get it out, you know, I need to get this out before Warhammer 3 launches. I can't, if I keep on adding things, the script just kept on getting longer and longer and longer, like with the more research I did. I'm like, I can't, I have to like put my foot down at some point. Otherwise this project is just gonna bloat indefinitely. Leave other material for other videos in the future.
Battles to be won with the mind as well as the sword. Now is your time. Let total war begin.
Released in June 2000 as the world was reeling from the apocalypse, it was a resounding financial success for the company. But more importantly, its gameplay was like nothing. There was one statement that I want to draw your attention to, guys. By the way, it hasn't really aged well. And that's towards the very end, I think. Somewhere here. It's a scale that very few games as a whole can even come close to matching. And gameplay-wise, market IP has been for CA, combined with every... Okay, here it is, yeah. So where is this franchise headed, especially with a major release around the corner? Given how lucrative the Warhammer IP has been for CA, combined with every non-Warhammer title in the past 5 years ending up as an abandoned financial failure, I don't think the third title in this trilogy will be anything other than profitable. Meanwhile, okay, Q TW Warhammer 3 Steam charts. This is on a weekend, by the way, guys. So this is as good as it gets, and this is after the patch. This is the bump that they got in the patch, and then people realized the game is still crap. And ain't no patching gonna undo all the terrible design decisions. Okay. And this has nothing to do with Elden Ring, by the way. This was bleeding players from day one, okay, before Elden Ring even released. This is as good as it gets on a weekend, okay. 14,000. This is worse. This is worse than Warhammer 2. This is worse than Warhammer 2 was doing in February, 4.5 years after its release. And you can bet that CA is gonna abandon this game at some point, like within the foreseeable future. It's not. They're not having enough activity on the game to be able to pitch, you know, to get resources for making more DLC from management or whoever. So that is so funny. That is the one. That is the one statement in this whole. That is one statement in this video that has aged horribly, and that was just 10 days before the game release. This is like a time capsule of everything, like leading up to Warhammer 3's release. I'm proud. This is one video I'm extremely proud of. Like, despite all the flaws, there's so much over here that I could have covered. I didn't even cover like the Reddit shenanigans or anything. Nothing about the whole Reddit section. I didn't go into that much detail on Warhammer because I didn't play the game. I played Three Kingdoms. I didn't play Warhammer, but they're basically on the same branch of the same tree. So it's really funny. Like, fanboys were telling me, no, you know, you play Three Kingdoms. Warhammer is different. Like, you expect me to believe that Three Kingdoms released in 2019 is a completely different game from Warhammer 2 released barely 1.5 years earlier. Like, yeah, CA made good Warhammer games, then went back to making terrible games with Three Kingdoms. That's funny. Warlord and the Renegade. I think this is my best cinematic, like, production value wise. And it has pretty banging music. I like this theme. And unlike my earlier cinematics, this is an actual dedicated, and I also have the cinema black bar thing for more thematic theme, and I also applied filters as well. Like, this isn't the original battle was actually midday, but this I applied a filter to make it seem more desolate. I'm staying away from those. I do not want to have to deal with any copyright claims. Like, I would rather not. I use Epidemic Sounds, and that's guaranteed to not get me flagged. I've never gotten flagged. That's the whole point of Epidemic Sounds, is you're paying for the royalties. I never got flagged for any of that music. I just can't imagine trying to do the same thing in the newer games. Like, it's just the animations just aren't there, the sound effects aren't there. You'd have to do, maybe you could like post-process it to add, like you could do some post-processing on the sound. You can up the bass a bit to make it to actually give it more punch. But why would I want to do that when I could just have a game that has actually good sound design at the very start? About morale, by the way, that's also one of the videos on my list. I'm gonna be doing a deep dive into like the morale is what made Total War into what it is. Like, if there's one thing that made Total War one word, it is morale, and I'm gonna show you how it's been neglected and just sidelined. But anyway, guys, it's been 1 hour and 50 minutes. Wow, time flew. I'm gonna have to get to work editing this together, polishing it, editing some soundtracks. I have my reps. I just have this, like, you see the background is a bit different because I just rejigged my setup and got an extra monitor that's just going to be specifically for editing, getting more focused, better picture quality. Yeah, I'll definitely touch on that point, because the thing is, like, all of these different things are related. Like, you can't talk about morale in Total War without talking about the HP system in Rome 2 and how it destroyed morale. Like, you have to, yeah, all of these different things are related in some point. If you're going to talk about one of them, you have to touch on the other topics at the very least. That you have to give the context for the rest of it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for this incredible year. It's truly been amazing just getting to know this community, getting to know you all. And I look forward to yet another year. Another year of spectacular moments caught on screen, caught on video, brought to you. And brought by you as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye! Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely appreciate the support. You can hop onto Discord and join in all the fun. We talk about everything gaming and non-gaming related. Find people to play games with. You can also hop onto my Patreon, support the channel. I definitely appreciate the support and get access to exclusive videos. And you can also check out the merch store. Get your own branded merch, caps, beanies, bottles, water bottles over here. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!